The story of David. David, a servant of God who was the youngest of Jesse's 8 sons, lived in Bethlehem. From an early age, he showed a heart devoted to the Lord. While his brothers served in the army or handled family responsibilities, David spent his time tending his family's sheep. It was during this simple work in the fields that he began to develop an intimate relationship with God. His songs and prayers echoed through the hills, reflecting his faith and trust in the Lord. David's life changed when the prophet Samuel came to Bethlehem seeking the next king of Israel. God had rejected Saul as king and instructed Samuel to anoint one of Jesse's sons. One by one, David's older brothers were presented, but none of them were chosen. When David, still a young shepherd, was called from the field, God revealed to Samuel that he was the chosen one. There, before his family, David was anointed king, though he would not yet take the throne. David's courage became evident when he visited the battlefield where his brothers were serving. The Israelite army was paralyzed with fear before Goliath, a Philistine giant who challenged them. Outraged by Goliath's blasphemy against God, David decided to face him. Armed only with a sling and 5 stones, he defeated the giant with a single strike, demonstrating that his faith in God was his greatest weapon. This victory changed his life and inspired all of Israel. After his victory over Goliath, David was brought to King Saul's court. He distinguished himself as a brave warrior and a talented musician. His harp playing could calm Saul's troubled spirit. However, David's success and popularity stirred the king's jealousy. Saul began to see David as a threat to his throne and attempted to kill him multiple times. To escape Saul's persecution, David had to flee. He spent years as a fugitive, hiding in caves and forests, always trusting that God would protect him. Even when given opportunities to kill Saul and seize the throne by force, David chose to honor the king anointed by God, showing his integrity and patience in waiting for God's timing. The story took a turn when Saul died in battle against the Philistines. With Saul's death, David was proclaimed king of Judah and later king of all Israel. He united the tribes and made Jerusalem the capital of the kingdom, also bringing the Ark of the Covenant to the city. His reign ushered in a new era of prosperity and unity for Israel. As king, David was a visionary leader and a fearless warrior. He expanded Israel's borders, defeating enemies and establishing alliances. His devotion to God remained evident in his decisions, and he frequently sought divine guidance before acting. David was also a gifted poet and the author of many psalms we read today. But David's life was not free of mistakes. His sin involving Bathsheba and Uriah was one of the darkest moments of his life. When confronted by the prophet Nathan, David acknowledged his sin and deeply repented. He wrote Psalm 51, a powerful testimony of repentance and seeking forgiveness. This episode showed that despite his failures, David had a heart truly turned toward God. David reigned for 40 years and left a legacy that spans the centuries. He not only unified Israel, but also established a royal lineage from which the Messiah, Jesus Christ, would come. His psalms continue to inspire and comfort millions of people around the world, reminding us of the power of faith and repentance. The story of David is a testimony that God can use ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary purposes. With courage, faith, and a heart willing to learn, David shows us that even amid failures, we can seek redemption and fulfill our calling. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to continue watching us. Hugs, and stay with God.